Hello and welcome to Hare Investigations. I'm your host, Anna Rucco. Murder at the Emerald Ranch. The letter to Miriam Wagner mentions the accidental shooting of Joshua Burgess. So we open the case file. Letter to Miriam Wagner from Annabelle. My dearest Miriam, I decided that I would write to you again because, even though our worlds seem so far apart these days, I think of you often. New York is crowded and dirty, but so alive. It feels like anything is possible, even for a country girl like me, and my biggest news is that I've been cast in a Henrik Ibsen play. It is a small role, but now I can finally call myself a Broadway actress. Sometimes I do miss home, though. The peace and the clean air, being able to take a ride at first light. I received a letter from Lily Millett a while back, and it appears that she is experiencing some financial difficulties. She was always very sensible with money, so I am worried that Weasel Cooper has his claws in her again. She also mentioned that she has not seen you leave the house in months. I cannot even begin to imagine how painful it must have been for you to lose Joshua in such a horrible way, and I would never assume to instruct you how to grieve, but I worry about you existing in such isolation. This must be the 6th letter I've sent to you with no response. Please let me know that you are all right, even if it is just the shortest of notes to tell me to mind my own business. You can tell me anything. Your loving cousin, Annabelle. P.S. Uncle Eugene, with the greatest of respect, if you are withholding my mail from Miriam, or dare I say constraining her in any other way, I beg you to reconsider your actions. I know how much you love her, but please do not confuse love with possession. She is a beautiful, intelligent woman with so much life ahead of her. Case file ER-1-89-9. Location of incident, Emerald Ranch. Reported by Unreported. Date, August 1898. Victim, Joshua Burgess. Residence, Emerald Ranch. Age, unknown. Race, unknown. Employer, Eugene Wagner. Occupation, unknown. Witnesses, Eugene Wagner, the owner. Miriam Wagner, daughter of Eugene. Seamus, foreman and also a fence. Lily Millett, ranch maid, and Cooper, ranch worker. Details of the incident. Joshua Burgess was shot and killed in an accidental shooting in the saloon at Emerald Ranch. His body was buried outside the saloon marked with a grave. 3 shell casings lay on the floor in front of the window beside the table and bench. 3 bullet holes are in the wall behind where the body fell. Broken bottles and a broom are against the wall under the bullet holes. Blood is on the floor beside the bar. We'll start our investigation by taking a look at the physical evidence found at the scene of the crime. Saloon, the scene of the incident, located at Emerald Ranch. You can enter it in both story and online mode. Scene of the crime. 3 bullet holes in the midsection of the wall, broken bottles against far wall accompanying a broom, blood pooling, splattering, and slight smearing. Photo taken from the suspected position of the shooter. 3 shell casings. The 3 shell casings are scattered, not together as if a pistol was emptied, therefore it would appear an auto-eject style weapon of some sort. Bullet holes in the wall. 3 bullet holes in the midsection of the wall, 3 shell casings on the floor. This suggests that 3 shots were fired from a high-caliber weapon. All 3 shots were either powerful enough to go clean through the victim or missed completely. Blood splatter. The pattern of the blood seems to suggest a large-caliber bullet, the forward spray of entry and the splatter of rear exit. With 2 puddles showing drain lines indicating the body was laying in front of them would suggest the victim was hit twice. The blood smears might have been from the victim clutching the wounds before their hand touched the floor. Broken bottles. The broken bottles suggest that either the victim fell backwards after being shot, or they were broken when the victim was carried out the back door. The presence of a broom might mean someone had intentions of cleaning them up. The upright barrel and undamaged crate suggest a struggle did not happen. General store. The general store is closed in both story and online mode. The store is empty except for a few barrels and crates. Looking in the window, however, you can see a woman's outfit on a mannequin. It is likely that Miriam Wagner ran the general store. However, since she has been confined to the main house, it has remained closed since the incident. Joshua Burgess, accidentally shot August 1898. Grave for Joshua Burgess located between the saloon and the farmhand bunkhouse. List of suspects: Eugene Wagner, Miriam Wagner, Lily Millett, Cooper, Seamus. Eugene Wagner, ranch owner, Emerald Ranch, New Hanover. Relatives: Miriam Wagner, daughter. Eugene Wagner is the owner of Emerald Ranch. He has a daughter named Miriam Wagner who can be seen looking through the upstairs window. It is known that his daughter had a relationship with Joshua Burgess. However, after Joshua died of an accidental shooting, Miriam was locked inside the family home, and as a result, she is rarely seen outside. You can often find him sitting on the porch of the main house. Eugene is hostile and will almost always challenge you to a fight. Status: violent and possessive. Miriam Wagner, daughter to Eugene, Emerald Ranch, New Hanover. Relatives: Eugene Wagner, father. Miriam was in a relationship with Joshua Burgess before the accidental shooting. She used to be seen all over the ranch, but now Miriam has been forced to stay inside the family's house and is therefore rarely seen outside. Miriam can be seen looking out at the upstairs window around midnight and noon. Status: forced reclusive. Lily Millett, ranch maid, Emerald Ranch, New Hanover. Relatives: Cooper, boyfriend. Lily Millett is a ranch maid who lives at Emerald Ranch with her boyfriend Cooper. She seems to be financially sensible even though she stays in financial difficulties a lot. Status: non-aggressive. Cooper, ranch worker, Emerald Ranch, New Hanover. Relatives: Lily Millett, girlfriend. Cooper is Lily Millett's boyfriend and seems to be the root of Lily's financial troubles. He has been seen having to deal with debt collectors on at least one occasion. Status: aggressive when confronted. Seamus, ranch foreman, Emerald Ranch, New Hanover. Relatives: Bob Crawford Sr., cousin-in-law, Bob Crawford Jr., first cousin once removed-in-law. Seamus is a foreman at Emerald Ranch and tends the rackets there. He specializes in stolen wagons but runs a general fence on the side as well. Eugene Wagner is seemingly unaware that Seamus runs a fence as a side business, but as evidence when Seamus asks not a word to Wagner. According to sources, Seamus is afraid of Wagner. Status: shady but nonviolent. Now let's head over to Hare Investigations Balistics Lab and see what we can discover about what weapon may have been used. Balistics, tracking down the possible murder weapon. Based on the design and look of the shell found at the crime scene, 5 bullets do fit that description. The Springfield number 8, the carbine repeater number 10, Evans repeater number 11, Lancaster repeater number 12, and the Litchfield repeater number 13. Based on the shells left at the crime scene, it would appear one of the repeaters was the cause of Joshua's death. Since 3 shots were fired, at least 2 hitting the victim, the shots had to have been fired rapidly. For this reason, the Springfield was ruled out. Now here we have a crime scene reenactment. Now a big shout out to Jay Lash for helping me with this. Not only has he been helping me proofread a lot of my work, he agreed to stand in as Joshua Burgess so that we could do the reenactment. Now based on the information we had available, the locations are approximate and the weapon of course is approximate, but as you can see, 3 of the bullets would have passed straight through Joshua's head, 1 through the eye socket, 1 through the forehead. The 3rd would have varied a little bit to the right, missing him and hitting the wall. Hare Investigations final report. Based on the evidence, the most likely suspect for the incident is Eugene Wagner. He has a very hot temper and is prone to violent outbreaks of possessive anger. He has forcibly locked his daughter away in the main house after the death of her boyfriend, Joshua Burgess. Joshua was killed in the saloon during an altercation of some sorts. 3 shots were fired from a repeater, probably from the hip as the pattern seemed spread slightly. Based on ballistics, at least 2 shots hit the body. The incident stems from the relationship of Miriam Wagner, who was running the general store, and Joshua Burgess, who ran the saloon. Since Eugene has locked Miriam in the house and guards the door regularly, she must know what happened but cannot be questioned. However, one could speculate that Eugene may have thought that Joshua and Miriam may have had relations or been going to leave, and Eugene shot Joshua in a fit of rage. So based on the evidence that I've collected in the murder at the Emerald Ranch, I think it was Eugene Wagner in the saloon with the repeater. White Hare Investigations bonus investigation. And during the investigation of the murder at the Emerald Ranch, I stumbled across a bit of information that helps more define the timeline of the game. The story mode starts as the gang is fleeing from the Blackwater Massacre, which happened in May of 1899. Online mode exists in 1898. Since the grave of Joshua Burgess says August 1898, online mode has to take place after his death. Therefore, online mode exists between September at the earliest and December at the latest. It could include part of August, but the number of days is unspecific. So online mode exists in a 4 to 5-ish month period unless it extends into 1899, increasing the time frame to an 8-month period.